Greetings. Time to make it happen. This is Elder Black Light, the kind of flavor to Savior and the kind of knowledge you won't get in college. Let me start off by saying this. All praises due to Allah who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad. That I'm able to come to you in this manner and call myself the counsel, to be the counsel of the young gods, an old school brother in a new school world. Today, this video is entitled The Counsel to the Young Black Gods to expect the unexpected. We're going to cover today, we're going to cover we're going to cover the movie. I think it was the movie called Wanda Forever. The Black Panther movie, where the females, the black women, took over the leadership position. Because Chadwick had passed, as they call it. He went to the elders, the ancestors, put it like that. And I'm going to tell you what I don't like about the movie. This is a scene from the opening act of the movie. It was a funeral, the funeral of the Panther, Black Panther. This movie was produced by Caucasians. Using a majority black cast. This movie is telling you what they are doing now, what the landscape is for right now. And I'll always remember to press that notification bell and always hit the thumbs up. A lot of you young people, young black gods and got male and female, y'all think y'all know what's going on. But we're going to also discuss the debate between Trump and Biden. All of it go together. All of it go together. So we asked him the question, if you are an American, you don't worship the Most High. If you express yourself as an American, you don't worship the Most High. They make sure that there's a separation between church and state. The state becomes who you worship, your God. Being, how can one separate the church from the state? Don't go with the teachings of none of the scriptures. You can't do it because you can't separate God, the creator, from reality. While we discuss the debate, the debate is being staged to get your mind off of Israel, Palestine. Also, in that debate, there was no mention of black man's reparations. Only thing he was saying was black jobs. I'm gonna show you how this movie lines up with what's happening nowadays. As you know, the black female is being promoted by the white man. If you ever seen this movie, Rwanda Forever, that's what they're doing. Matter of fact, Panther's sister becomes the new Panther. Then they pick up another black sister, an American, that becomes her sidekick or her partner, but she lives over here in America she's a scientist, young scientist, that made a contract with the government, the US government. And also they got, in this movie, they got the Native American, the Aztec, fighting the African, warring against the African. But don't no one fight against the colonizer. Matter of fact, Rwanda is working with the colonizer. Why is that? Because the United States want the natural resources that you can't find nowhere but in Wakanda. And the minerals and metals that they got over there is only exclusive to uh, that region or that vicinity. And they got there the most powerful nation in Africa. And the Mexicans or the Aztecs or Native Americans, they don't want Rwanda to uh, hook up with uh, the USA. Now, this is my assessment. That movie was telling you what's going on now. The debates were a distraction. It was staged to keep your mind off of Israel and Palestine. They're talking about uh, the border. They say not only Mexicans coming over here, but migrants from all around the world is coming over here. Now, this movie uh, points out, Rwanda points out exactly what's going on right now. But they're not, Rwanda's not mentioning Israel. But it shows you how the black woman has overruled the black man. And it shows you how uh, the black woman is in alignment with the white man. And it shows you how the woman is running things in this day and time. Uh, it also shows you how Africa has resources that the United States won't. That's the war between Israel and Palestine, and Iran is in it because Iran got the oil. Egypt is in it. So Gaza is right across from Egypt, and they're knocking at the door of Egypt's door so they could get into Africa. Now, Biden said that we're gonna go to that debate. We're gonna show you some things in that debate that you can tell that it's an act. Why did they have a debate like this? Never before in history have they had a debate in this manner, and never did mention reparations for black people. But yet still they want you to vote for them. And most black people, they gonna vote for one or the other. Both of them is evil, is crooked. Talking about Biden and Trump. Who says you gotta vote for one or the other? Who says that? Who tells you gotta vote? Period. You ain't gotta vote for the lesser of two evils. You ain't gotta vote for evil at all. That's all I know. That if you so loyal to the Constitution that you can't be loyal to the Most High, the Creator. Ain't nowhere in the world you could be loyal to the Creator, because you're saying that the Constitution is almost like the Ten Commandments. You're saying that uh, the president could bless you. It could go up against the weather. Now, ain't nothing they can do about the weather, climate control, the heat. They ain't nothing they can do about that. But you believe they can. Abortion, they give you permission to have an abortion. They give you permission to tell you that man can lay with another man, and a woman can lay with another woman. And God says it's not, it don't supposed to be like that. So we're gonna get into that. And then we're gonna call it a day. So we got Chadwick. This Chadwick photo right here. R.I.P. to the brother. But this is telling you this one thing good about this image, this picture that you see on the screen, is how we really are before we were brought here and made deaf, dumb, and blind. It reminds you of Egypt in a way, or Kemet. So I'm gonna show you how Rwanda lines up with what's happening now, and we're gonna go to the debates. Stay tuned while I get the debate.
Patrol agents and CBP officers, added 1,200 immigration customs enforcement personnel, and more. We are continuing to call on Congress to provide the resources we need to support our men and women on the front lines of our border. I just received an operational briefing on the success of the President's action so far here in the Tucson sector and along our southern border, and the incredible work of our personnel. Our team did an exceptional job.
BP and Amoco stations. There's brighter days ahead, thanks to the Biden administration's Inflation Reduction Act. The Inflation Reduction Act invests billions of dollars into Black America, creates thousands of good-paying jobs that can support a family and pave pathways to greater opportunity. It lowers the cost of prescription drugs, health insurance, and energy bills, so families have a little more to spend on things that make the days special. Visit this site to learn more about how Joe Biden's Inflation Reduction Act is helping our community.
I love the morning show. It brings a smile to my face the whole day.
I always go for Fox 2. It's the best.
Fox 2 News only.
This is a Fox News special presentation.
Welcome to special pregame coverage of the CNN presidential debate simulcast here on Fox. I'm Shannon Bream in Washington. The whole country turning its eyes to Atlanta, where we are just about a half hour away from the first time President Joe Biden will face off against former President Donald Trump in a debate since 2020. Stakes could not be higher. One of only two scheduled one-on-one debates so far where the candidates have a chance to look each other in the eye and lay out their vision for America to you at home. President Biden and former President Trump arriving in Georgia earlier this afternoon. Likely top of the agenda tonight, inflation, the economy, the border, foreign policy, and the state of our democracy. Fox News correspondent Bill Malugin is at the debate venue in Atlanta with all the details on his.
Now you see that they didn't mention nothing about reparations. They just said black jobs. You know, but if we're in trillions and trillions of dollars worth of debt, trillions and trillions of dollars worth of debt, that means you're working for free. Because all the money that you make goes to Israel, Ukraine, for war, and other places around the world for war. That's why you got inflation.
And it's the first between a sitting and incumbent president, the first face-off between these two men since 2020. It is a rematch for the ages as they make the case for leading the country for the next 4 years. We're bringing it all to you here on your local Fox station. Fox News correspondent Bill Malugin is on the ground in Atlanta with a final look. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Shannon, well, based on the campaign ads that both Biden and Trump put out today, you can expect in this debate tonight that Trump is going to go after Biden for illegal immigration and the border crisis. In return, Biden will hit Trump on abortion, two of the biggest polarizing topics in the country. We'll send it back to you.
Okay, Bill, thank you very much. All those topics and more, how they handle it, how they perform, mental acuity, personality, it is all in the spotlight tonight. just seconds away as they get ready
to make his case to the American people with just over 4 months until Election Day. Good evening, I'm Dana Bash, anchor of CNN's Inside Politics and co-anchor of State of the Union.
I'm Jake Tapper, anchor of CNN's The Lead and co-anchor of State of the Union. Dana and I will co-moderate this evening. Our job is to facilitate a debate between the two candidates tonight. Before we introduce them, we want to share the rules of the debate with the audience at home. Former President Trump will be on the left side of the screen. President Biden will be appearing on the right. A coin toss determines their positions. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer a question and 1 minute each for responses and rebuttals. An additional minute for follow-up, clarification, or response is at the moderator's discretion.
When it's time for a candidate to speak, his microphone will be turned on and his opponent's microphone will be turned off. Should a candidate interrupt when his microphone is muted, he will be difficult to understand for viewers at home. At the end of the debate, each candidate will get 2 minutes for closing statements. There is no studio audience tonight. Pre-written notes, props, or contact with campaign staff are not permitted during the debate. By accepting our invitation to debate, both candidates and their campaigns agreed to accept these rules.
Now, please welcome the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden. And please welcome the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Let's begin the debate, and let's start with the issue that voters consistently say is their top concern, the economy. President Biden, inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then now costs more than $120. And typical home prices have jumped more than 30%. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
We're going to take a look at what I was left when I became president and what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach in your arm. You'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do is try to put things back together again. That's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs. We brought out a position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs, but there's more to be done. There's more to be done. Working class people are still in trouble. I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I come from households where the kitchen tables and things weren't able to be met during the month. It was a problem. The price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of housing, the price of a whole range of things. That's why I'm working so hard to make sure I deal with those problems. And we're going to make sure that we reduce the price of housing. We're going to make sure we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure we cap rents so corporate greed can't take over. The combination that was left with in corporate greed is the reason why we're in this problem right now. In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you had to take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, there were things that were in chaos, literally chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a major issue for many people. They're $15 for an insulin shot as opposed to $400. No senior has to pay more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year. In a situation is making, and we're going to make that available to everybody, to all Americans. So we're working to bring down the price around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
Thank you. President Trump?
We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID, and when we did, we spent the money necessary so we wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars, and so many other things. Everything was rocking good. But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country. But other than that, we had given them back a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce back jobs, a bounce back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
Thank you, President Biden.
Now, we're going to analyze this. I'm doing what not too many brothers and sisters do. We always leave it up to the Caucasians and the news media to tell us what we're seeing and to make us think that what we're seeing is not what we see. And so many of my people fall for that just nonsense. You know, they're just natural suckers. And like I told you before, man, see a sucker, his motto is bump his head. And that ain't just black people, white people too. They suckers too. And we're talking about the economy, right? So since we're talking about the economy, let me get my information out here. Let me see. Just give me a minute. In Leviticus in the Old Testament, Leviticus 25, verse 36 says, take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. Now he's talking to the Jew. Verse 38, he said, I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your God. The Jew, he ignored that. But do you know what usury is? Well, today, in these modern times, we call usury interest or late fees. Usury is referred to now as interest. Now, we in trillions of dollars worth of debt because of interest. But the Congress passed the debt on to its so-called citizens. That's where your interest rate come in. That's where your taxes come in at. And you wonder why you got into this debt. But yet still they say the economy is doing great. How's the economy is doing great and you're in trillions of dollars worth of debt? How you gonna get out of debt if they keep on sending your money to Ukraine and they keep on sending your money to Israel to fight these wars? Look how many people have got murdered. We're gonna stay right here on this subject right here for a minute. Let me adjust my screen right quick. Oops. Excuse me, peeps. I want to adjust my screen because I'm on stay right here. We're gonna talk about this subject now, about the economy, about the money. You know, we're gonna talk about this and bring you face to face with the God, reality. So hold tight. Let me get it right. You know.
We have been there. We've tried that, and we're not going back. We are moving forward, America.
Under my administration, our friends will...
The biggest con game in the whole world.
We'll see a little less flexibility and more backbone.
He wants to make America great again. Well, he could start by actually making things in America.
They're attacking Trump. So as a backdrop, we're gonna go back to Wakanda forever, and then we're gonna get into this subject.
Time is running out. Please allow me to heal my brother of this illness, and I'll never question your existence again.
His heart is dropping fast. Where are we? Leo, give me the control.
That's your wish, princess.
She's the new Panther. That sister there is the new Panther. Now, a lot of brothers know that the white man pushed the black woman over the black man. A whole lot of brothers is turning homosexual. You know, a whole lot of women is turning masculine. This is reality. So we're talking about the economy, economic warfare. Now you got to do some research now. You got to do some research. Under executive order, let me show you how the headlines look back in those days. This was this paper right here was what was the name of this paper that it came out of? It should be on here somewhere. It'll come to me, but this is a photocopy of the headlines of how it looked. This paper is talking about the Federal Reserve. There's an executive order from Franklin D. Roosevelt to turn all the gold and silver over to the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve will coin the money or make paper money a Federal Reserve note. And if you don't turn over your gold and your silver, let me read it. It says, under the executive order of the president issued April the 5th, 1933, all persons are required to deliver on or before May the 1st, 1933, all gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates now owned by them to a Federal Reserve bank. It goes straight to a bank. Now, with that word federal in front of reserve, you think it's talking about the U.S. government, the federal government. But no, it's a private organization, branch or agency of the member bank of the Federal Reserve System. That's not a part of the government. And it says criminal penalties for violation of executive orders, $10,000 fine or 10 years imprisonment or both. Why is it that everyone don't talk about that? Y'all talk about the economy, but y'all don't talk about that part. Why is it? I can't understand that. You know, I can't understand why you don't talk about the Bible saying there's no usury. You know, there's a whole lot of Christians, Catholics, a whole lot of Muslims that claim to be down with the scriptures, you know, and y'all hardly ever talk about the Old Testament. That's when most of your commandments, you know, it's more than 10 commandments. And you can find most of your commandments in Leviticus, in the Old Testament. And so it say, you know, you don't charge no usury. Now he talking to the Jews because the 10 Commandments, Moses brought that to the Jews, to Israel. Now most of y'all say that y'all love the Constitution of the United States, but y'all don't know nothing about it. I got a little small booklet, the Constitution, right here, of the United States. So in Article 1, Section 8, Paragraph 5 states that only Congress shall have the power to coin money and regulate the value thereof and of foreign coin, and fix the standard of weights and measures, to provide for the punishment of counterfeiting securities and current coin of the United States. Section 10 states that no state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque, or reprisal, coin, money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payments of debt, pass bill of attainder, expo last facto law, impairing the obligation of contracts or grant any title of nobility. Don't run, man. Y'all ain't got nothing for that. Y'all ain't got no comeback for that, do you? So just on that alone, on the economics, the Constitution, just on that part right there, why y'all ain't saying nothing, man? Because most of y'all don't know nothing about that Constitution. Y'all need to go and get y'all the Constitution and go to that part right there. Article 1, Section 8, Paragraph 5. Now, how did the Federal Reserve get to, how did the Federal Reserve get to control Congress? The Congress relinquished their authority and power over to the Federal Reserve, which is a foreign entity. So that broke the Constitution, because the Supreme Court didn't change the Constitution. You know, they didn't change the Constitution. And Franklin D. Roosevelt now that's a dictatorship. He didn't vote on it. Y'all didn't vote on this Federal Reserve. Y'all didn't vote on it. He just said, if you don't get them your goal, you gonna go to jail or be fined. Why y'all don't talk about that, man? And y'all talking about voting now. Don't none of them talk about that. The news don't even talk about it. Some of y'all ones who are wise don't even talk about it. Now, that's a few white people that talk about the Federal Reserve Act and Jekyll's Island, but no one pays them any attention. Black people, they ain't gonna never talk about it, because black people ain't gonna be, looking up the Constitution. And your lawyers, black lawyers, some of them are constitutional lawyers. They act like they can't see that. For one thing, the lawyers, they are agents of the government. They are really agents of the courts. But they know constitutional law, but they don't say nothing. So you being jacked up all kind of ways, black man, black woman. White man, he's being made a sucker too, but he don't want you to, he want to keep his foot on your neck, so he ain't gonna inform you that you really ain't free or so-called free. You say, well, we free. No, that's why the police keep on shooting you, because you're gonna do what he say or get shot. So that's the only authority he got over you, is that bullet and that gun. And he keeps you divided amongst yourself. Now he gonna have the Mexicans, all the immigrants. He gonna put them on the front line against you, against the African American, so-called African American, telling you they taking your jobs. Then y'all gonna be fighting each other. Then you're gonna send the National Guard in. See, he's getting out of he done painted himself into a corner, and this is how he getting out of it, keeping you hoodwinked, and he keeping you deaf, dumb, and blind, so he won't have to answer for all his crimes. And y'all say y'all believe in God, but in the Bible, it tells you that you're not to pay interest. So some of y'all in credit card debt because of interest. Some of y'all can't pay your rent because of late fees, same as interest. Then you got taxes on top of that you owe. Now how you owe taxes, and taxes automatically come out your check or whatever instrument you use for money now. You know, just tell me how. And then you talking about reparations, black man and black woman. You know, that's the economy, right? That's part of the economy, because you built this land up without pay for 400 years, 400 and some years. Now Israel got reparations, and they was over in Germany. And they got them their own nation. Because of war crimes. But you don't call it war crimes, you know. Now you're talking about slavery. I don't even know why we call it slavery. But it was a form of slavery. But it was really prisoners of war. Then we were made slaves to build this country up for 400 years. But compared to other so-called slavery, our slavery, the black man's slavery here in America, his name was took away from him. His education or right to be educated was took away. He was separated from his family. He was tortured day and night. They promised us 40 acres and a mule, then lied. And we ain't got it yet. Y'all done fell in love with this system and the man more than you confess to the Creator. You don't uh, believe really in the God you say, Jehovah, whatever name you want to call him. You don't believe in that because you're bowing down to a false God that's an adversary of the Creator. And don't you think that the Creator know, or the God, Supreme Being, know that you're worshiping your predator, you're worshiping your uh, slave master and his children, and he's doing everything in his power to get to your homeland, to take that over. And he done made them over there, he done colonized a whole lot of them over in the motherland, and he's still trying to take that part over, just like in Rwanda. You know, some of them collaborated with the oppressor, but they beginning to wake up gradually, but they still trust the Russians. The Russian is more kin to Europe and the West than the African or the Asians or the Indians. Anybody with color, hue, the African, the Brazilian, South American, the Cubans, the Hawaiians, the Australians, the original Australians. Y'all not close to anything white, and they know it. And they working together, and the black man, no matter where you at, the black, brown, red, and yellow are monkeys in the middle. Now y'all done heard this before, but y'all don't want to do nothing about it. Y'all don't want to talk about it. So I'm asking you to think about what I'm saying. And we're going to come back. We'll make this a short one. And we're going to continue analyzing the debate. And we're going to match it up with where they finna go. Black people love Biden. They haven't studied his history. Black people love Trump. You haven't studied Trump history. Trump is down with the Russians, and Biden is down with the Chinese. So the quicker you wake up to this, the quicker you wake up to how they playing you. the better off you be. Don't be stubborn. Just admit, I was a sucker, but I ain't no more. I was a chump, but I'm not now. I got punked, but now I'm strong. I thought I was believing in the Most High God, but I really wasn't, because I pledge allegiance to the American flag, the Constitution, instead of the Ten Commandments and the flag of Islam, the sun, the star, and the crescent, which is the universe, which is the family, father, mother, and child, the sun, the moon, and the stars. We'll get into that science on a later date. So this is Black Light saying Assalamu alaikum. Stay tuned, for I'm the counselor to the young gods. And if you're wise, you'll pay attention to what I'm saying and research it yourself. Let me before I go, let me try to find what paper the executive order was coming out of. Oh man. Well, just go online and look for the executive order of President Roosevelt Franklin. President Franklin D. Roosevelt back in 1933, May the 1st. It was a paper. I got it off of paper. The writing is so small that I'm gonna have to magnify it, and come back maybe tomorrow or the next day, with the paper, so you can research it yourself. I'm Black Light. Keep it tight. Always expect the unexpected. Assalamu alaikum.